Hi everyone. We're doing a little bit of a test here for a little bit later on. This is, kind of new to me, so bear with me. You all can enjoy some of the news and updates and potential train wreck that this can be while I'm recording and live streaming at the same time. So we're going to be covering the midterms throughout the day today on the Relief Valve podcast. This is our first time streaming live on YouTube. I'm a conservative podcaster, a little bit about me. So God knows how long I'll last on YouTube before they kick me off for saying something, using some sort of free speech that I'm not supposed to use because it's not kosher. So I'm going to be doing updates throughout the day. Everybody can join in and follow the show live. In addition to, we will be doing our regular download that's obviously going to have a delay while it posts. I upload to Buzzsprout, where you can find the show there, and then it goes to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and most of the major platforms. I'm not sure if Pandora confirmed me yet or not, but I'll record the updates on the midterms and then upload to all of the major services, in addition to live streaming on YouTube all of the live updates I'm finding. So I'll cover my existing audio members, and newer members that are joining along and following can join on the live stream. So let's take a look at some of the things that we're dealing with really quickly here. We're going to do an update. So I'm on Gab here. I'm on several platforms. And let's do a full screen for right now. And somebody is saying that there are issues reported with machines in Wickedburg, Arizona. This isn't the first update I've gotten. Maricopa County, I think it's Nevada, is also having issues. So let's take a look right here for a second.
This isn't working. If these machines are working, this is a big issue.
It's against law.
What is against law?
Photos and videos.
No, I can have a video if this machine's not working. This is not okay. Did it work?
Yes.
Okay. That's awful. Like, this is wrong.
So that's not, that's not decisive. He was complaining about maybe the machine acting up a little bit, and then he seemed pretty frustrated. I'm sure he's someone that's really concerned about the vote going properly and us not getting screwed over in the last election, where there were discrepancies for YouTube not wanting me to say something specific. Discrepancies in the presidential run. Let's see what else is going on here. We got a last-minute rule change in Philadelphia here. Let's take a look at this. Philadelphia city officials are moving forward with the election day measure due to Republican insistence. More voted Tuesday morning to impose a last-minute rule change that will draw out the vote count process. Sunday. Let's get rid of this shit here. The city's 3-member elections board voted 2-1 in favor of imposing poll book reconciliation, a lengthy process intended to prevent double votes. The Philadelphia Inquirer reported Tuesday the reconciliation process would flag any mail-in ballots from voters who also cast ballots in person. City commissioners made the 11th hour decision at a 7 a.m. meeting on Tuesday. The board is comprised of 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. The Republican voted in favor of the change along with one of the Democrats, while the second Democrat objected. Of course he did. The city had originally moved to end the reconciliation practice last week, leading to a GOP lawsuit seeking to enforce the policy. While the lawsuit failed, the city commission chose to reinstate the process regardless, according to the Inquirer. So that's interesting there. That's good that they're looking to make this a little more fairer and accountability for everyone. Another update here is Fetterman is suing. I know this story kind of continues on here, but Fetterman is suing to allow outdated votes and improperly filled out votes. Let's see if we can go here and find this story. Here's another one. DeSantis is banning the Justice Department because the DOJ is sending people to monitor polling places, and we know how much we can trust the DOJ. But there was another story I saw that Fetterman was suing to allow just essentially ballots that would never be accepted under normal circumstances, and he wants them. He wants, so a ballot fight could drag on long after election day, thousands of votes in limbo. So Pennsylvania's already calling that it's going to be late. A couple other states are calling that it's going to be late. And now, of course, I can't find that story. So, but it did come up, and we're going to be following it throughout the day. This is a little bit of a test, seeing how the streaming's going. and seeing how the access goes here, and I can bring up my channel. And midterm updates, we're live right now. I'm going to mute this so we don't have any issues here. So comments can come up and it'll show everything with the screen with a little bit of a delay when everything comes in. But this is a first time for me. You know, I'm a middle-aged white gentleman, so this is a lot for me. I'm not a TikToker, YouTube star. I'm not out there, you know, doing my skateboard or pretending to get into fights with people in, you know, downtown, wherever. But I started a conservative podcast because I felt very strongly about getting the word out there and getting my voice heard. And one of the issues was, before Elon Musk took over, I'd been banned a couple of times from Twitter for just speaking my mind, right? For saying, you know, a man can't be a woman. Men can't have children. Who knows? I'm probably going to get kicked off of Twitter for some of YouTube for some of this too. But it's just basically common sense things that are my opinion for Twitter, right? My opinion. But and it bothered me. And I believe in everyone having a voice, whether we agree or we disagree. Everyone deserves to have their voice heard. You're a tax-paying American legal citizen, and you deserve to have the opportunity to have your voice heard. It should not be limited to Hollywood stars, politicians, which work for us. So what should be coming out of their mouth is the voice of the people, not their own personal opinions or what they're pandering to, some small group of Looney Tunes. It should be the voice of the people that's coming out, and the voice of the people should be heard by them. But, you know, some people complain and say, well, with everyone being able to go online, with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, so to speak, being able to run their mouth, you know, everyone's got an opinion. Opinions like assholes. Everybody's got one, and they all stink. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree fully with that. A lot of people are just going to come out and they're going to have a whole bunch of bullshit to say. And yes, it can be tough to filter everything out, but it's also important that the people have a voice, because in this day and age, for a long time up to this point, people didn't feel like they had a voice. You could moan and grumble to your friends and have an issue with something that was going on, but it wasn't filtering to anybody else that gave a shit. It wasn't getting out there to, you know, an AOC or a John Fetterman or anybody else, a Nancy Pelosi or anybody else in office, or an Elon Musk. He's on Twitter. He's monitoring his account. You wouldn't have been able to hit that guy up 20 years ago. Now you actually have that possibility. I mean, does Elon Musk know who I am? No, and he probably doesn't give a shit either. But there's the potential that I post something on his page, he sees that, or it's reactive in some way, and he responds to it. And all of a sudden, I've gone from a nobody to somebody whose voice has really made it out there into the ether and is gaining more traction, is being heard by many others. I have about 250 to 300 followers on Twitter. For just a Joe Schmo working schmuck, that's a pretty fair amount. You know, considering these idiot kids can get all these follows on YouTube, follows on TikTok, for just doing dumb shit or throwing pies in each other's faces and all this other shit that they do. It's amazing for a working class Joe to get online, on a YouTube, a Rumble, a Twitter, etc., have their voice heard and be able to reach out to other people that agree, disagree, whatever, or they're just getting the information. So this is why it's been so important for me, and why I've pushed this endeavor. So the midterms for me are a pretty big deal. I have about 30 episodes of the show up on Buzzsprout and all the other major platforms that I brought up to you earlier. And this is my first time live streaming, and I'm hoping to be able to move forward with this and take the show to a larger avenue. I want the Relief Valve podcast to become a much more larger thing. And I've said when I've started the show, I've said, I don't care if I have 5,000 listeners, 500 or 5. But if the message is getting out there, and you're being informed more, or you're getting another take and another opinion, and then you're able to talk to your friends or family about it, or share it with your family and your friends. That's the most important thing for me. It's getting my voice out there. Am I going to be a Tucker Carlson or a Ben Shapiro or something else? I don't expect that I'm going to have thousands of followers or even millions of followers. But the most important thing to me as a tax-paying citizen is having my voice heard, getting my opinion out there, sharing it with others, and other like-minded people as well, whether they're conservatives or it's somebody on the left who maybe is starting to rethink the way things are going, because the country's going to shit with left-wing Democratic leadership. So here's our first big trial run today, aside from just posting the audio portion of the show, is we're going to be live. So this is a test now, just to put this in and put this update in. As you can see, it's about 12:51 in the afternoon. And as the day gets on, because everyone's there's not a lot else that can be done. Everyone is voting throughout the day, and they're going to be voting until the polls close. This is some of the information from 5:38 about some of the chances for today in the elections. You've got Republicans are slightly favored to win the Senate. The numbers you're looking at there are they test 100 scenarios. It's like Doctor Strange in the multiverse. It's like all different things that are the potentials that are happening, changes in voting. One party got lost in a pit, and the other party was the only one that voted, etc. So it shows for the Senate, 59 out of 100 times they win the Senate. And then for the Democrats, 41 out of 100 times they win in the Senate. So the Senate is still a toss-up. It's close, but it looks like the Republicans' chances are pretty good. And when you come over here to the House, you see that 84 out of 100 times Republicans are winning, and Democrats are only winning 16 out of 100 times. So it looks very strongly, knock on wood, right? It looks very strongly that Democrats are losing the House and Republicans are taking it. So we're going to be following this throughout the whole day. I'm going to have some drinks and share all this time with you. We're going to be following stuff from Louder Crowder. We're gonna follow stuff from Daily Wire and Fox News, and get updates from multiple sources coming in for all of this. I'm going to get a decent buzz going and get a cigar going, and we all can enjoy this train wreck together, or you can watch me make a fool of myself. Either one, we can all have some fun. So I hope you tune in. I hope you give it a shot. Listen on any one of the platforms on audio, or follow the live stream, and we'll be doing that throughout the day. All right? Thanks, everyone, and we'll be seeing you later on for more live and more